Today, we're going to be talking about what you must know about NBA 2020-2021 season. NBA fans for sure love to watch and read about NBA news. A lot of people want to know which NBA team managed to be on top in the current year and individual performance ratings. The 2020-21 NBA season is the 75th season of the National Basketball Association. Make sure you stay until number 1, as you don't want to miss the details on the regular season of 2021 NBA coming to an end and playoffs being announced. Before we go any further, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content. Let's carry on. Number 12. Preparation on safety protocols for 2020-2021 amidst the pandemic. Daily testing of players and staff began well in advance. It was decided that occurrence of independent cases, not spread among players or staff, would not require a decision to suspend or cancel the season. Anyone who tests positive will have 2 routes to return to work: go 10 days or more after the first positive test or onset of symptoms, or test negative twice at least 24 hours apart via PCR testing. Team traveling parties will be limited to 45 people, including 17 players. An anonymous tip line will be made available to report possible violations of safety protocols. Number 11. Temporary relocation of the Toronto Raptors to Tampa. The Toronto Raptors were denied permission to play home games in Toronto, as the Canadian federal government ruled that repeated cross-border trips by the Raptors and their opponents would be a major health risk due to COVID-19 cases. This is similar to what happened to the Raptors' Major League Baseball counterpart, the Toronto Blue Jays, who were forced to play their 2020 home games in Buffalo. After looking at several U.S. cities, the Raptors announced on November 20th, 2020, that they would play their home games at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, to begin the season. Number 10. Regular season. The NBA had initially set a target date of December 1st, 2020 to start the regular season. Finally, the NBA was forced to shorten the 2020-21 seasons down to 72 games regular season running from December 22nd, 2020 through May 16th, 2021. Each team would play 3 games against each opponent from its own conference, and 2 games against each interconference opponent. While the All-Star Game was initially considered unlikely, the NBA announced in February the 2021 NBA All-Star Game would be held in Atlanta on March 7, 2021. The schedule was released in 2 parts. The first half was released in early December, while the second half was released in the latter part of the first half. Number 9. Media coverage of the NBA 2020-2021 season. This is the 5th year of the current 9-year contracts with ABC, ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV. To reduce on-site staff, ESPN and TNT will leverage the home team's rights holder as a host broadcaster for some of their games. They will send a neutral world feed to the network, which will then add commentary and surrounding coverage. ESPN stated that some of their games, particularly marquee games exclusive to ESPN and ABC, would be produced on-site with an existing hybrid model. It was announced that Fox Sports Networks had acquired rights to simulcast 36 Toronto Raptors games locally in the Tampa Bay area through at least the first half of the season. Number 8. Russell Westbrook triple-double. Oscar Robertson had owned the NBA record for most career triple-doubles since 1961-62. Now it belongs to Russell Westbrook. Westbrook achieved his record in the Washington Wizards game at the Atlanta Hawks in May. It had become an afterthought of when, not if, Westbrook would surpass Robertson this season with his triple-double tear. The last time an NBA all-time record was broken was when Ray Allen passed Reggie Miller on the all-time list for three-pointers made in 2011. Only 2 men have ever recorded 180 or more triple-doubles. The legendary Magic Johnson never got past 138. Jason Kidd retired at 107. And LeBron James is the next active player with the most triple-doubles at 99. Number 7. Stephen Curry breaks his own NBA record. En route to reaching 300 three-point makes for the season, Steph Curry broke his own record for the fewest games required to reach the mark. This year, he has done so in 58 games, 1 less than his 59-game all-time record from the 2015-16 and 2018-19 seasons. This is the 4th time that the former 2-time league MVP has surpassed the 300 three-pointers landmark, all in the last 6 seasons. He now owns 4 of the top 5 single-season three-point marks in NBA history, including the 402 mark he set in his unanimous MVP campaign. Given his red-hot form, arguably the greatest shooter in NBA history was going to knock down more than 1 three-pointer for the game. And in doing so, with his 6th of the game, He crossed the 2,800 career three-pointers mark. Number 6. LeBron James and the LA Lakers. A new season brings new expectations for LeBron James. He will play 10 fewer games than the regular season total of 72. In his 17th season, LeBron James won his first assist title with a 10.2 assists average. With a team rebuilt to add more scoring punch, LeBron James is going to rack up 10 to 12 assists on a nightly basis on his way to his second consecutive assist crown. As LeBron James' assist totals go up, and as the LA Lakers blow out teams with regularity this season, his scoring will go down slightly. As his new teammates carry more of the scoring burden, LeBron James can take a back seat on some nights offensively. This will lower his scoring average to around 23 points per game. LeBron James' chances at winning another NBA Finals MVP award will bring him one step closer to matching Michael Jordan's record of 6. Number 5. Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell together in playoffs? For the entirety of the 2020-21 season, Los Angeles Lakers head coach Frank Vogel avoided playing Marc Gasol along Montrezl Harrell. In fact, prior to the win over the Phoenix Suns, the two had never shared the floor for even 1 second of game time. So Vogel decided to try it, and the two played 4 minutes alongside one another, hardly a sample size big enough to draw any conclusions, and it did not have statistical success. The pair had an offensive rating of 88.9 and a defensive rating of 170 for the net rating of minus 81.1. Vogel gave Harrell and Gasol a chance to play with one another and sees both positives and negatives to it being a normal part of the rotation. Vogel said, "Obviously there's some risk as well because both are used to defending the center position, but you want to get your best players out there. If the Lakers do decide they want to use this pairing in the postseason when Anthony Davis needs a rest, they will need to use a lot more than just 4 minutes in the team's final games." Please leave your comments in the comment box whether Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell will be paired up together in playoffs or not. Number 4. Randle is eligible for an extension worth over $100 million this offseason. When the Knicks signed Julius Randle in 2019, he was largely seen as a consolation prize. They missed out on the superstars they intended to pursue, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and pounced on Randle as the best available alternative. If they had seen what was coming, they likely would have given him more than 2 guaranteed years on his contract. Randle has been so successful with the Knicks that he is beginning to imagine a future in New York. This offseason, he will be eligible for an extension that guarantees him more than $106 million in New York. Number 3. NBA hot seat situations. 5 coaches who need to finish strong. The regular season is in its final week, and the playoffs are just around the corner, where coaches are under the microscope. Terry Stotts' Portland Trail Blazers. Despite posting only 2 losing seasons as Portland's head coach, the team has failed in becoming a title contender under Stotts. Nate Bjorkgren, Indiana Pacers. There's been so many changes and injuries over the course of this season for the Pacers, so it's difficult to completely fault Bjorkgren. However, if he does not have the trust of the players and solid relationships, Bjorkgren will not make it. Mike Budenholzer, Milwaukee Bucks. Despite the fact that Mike Budenholzer has .713 win percentage, 159 to 64, and the Bucks are a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, his job security in Milwaukee is still in question. Luke Walton, Sacramento Kings. Sacramento currently has a 31-38 record and is on the brink of playoff elimination, which would make it 15 years since this franchise has seen the postseason, and they have to let Walton go. Scott Brooks, Washington Wizards. Many thought the Wizards would just decide this was the appropriate time to part ways with Brooks, but the underachieving franchise quickly turned around as Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook have put Washington in contention for the play-in tournament. Number 2. Alex Rodriguez's ownership group reaches agreement to buy Timberwolves Lynx for $1.5 billion. An ownership group featuring former MLB star Alex Rodriguez and tech entrepreneur Mark Lore has reached an agreement to purchase the Minnesota Timberwolves from Glenn Taylor for $1.5 billion. The group initially signed a letter of intent on April 10th, which gave it exclusive negotiating rights for the next 30 days. However, that time frame passed without a formal deal. Taylor was in advanced talks with Daniel E. Strauss, a former minority owner of the Memphis Grizzlies, but it went nowhere. Now, Taylor has finally decided to sell the teams. The deal still needs to be approved by the NBA's Board of Governors before it becomes official. Number 1. 2021 NBA Playoffs. The 2021 NBA Playoffs is the postseason tournament of the National Basketball Association's 2020-21 season. The playoffs will begin on May 22, 2021. It will end with the 2021 NBA Finals in July. On April 25, 21, the Utah Jazz became the first team to clinch a playoff spot. ABC, TNT, and NBA TV will broadcast the playoffs nationally in the United States. The 2020-21 NBA regular seasons will come to a close on May 16th, with including play-in tournament. NBA enlarges 2021 postseason games in each conference on May 18th through 21st, and old 16-team playoffs begin on May 22nd and July 6, 2021. The annual playoff to determine the NBA championship will begin on Saturday, July 8th. There will be a total of 20 games in the NBA playoffs for the 2020-21 seasons, up from 16 in previous seasons. 10 teams will clinch the postseason playoffs from each conference. That's all for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.